On the seventh day, in the month of September, in an early year of a decade not too long before our own, the human race suddenly encountered a deadly threat to its existence, and this terrifying enemy surfaced, as such enemies often do, in the seemingly innocent and most unlikely of places. That horror would be the Little Shop of Horrors cartoon. Did you ever notice that executives have some very weird ideas on what to turn into a cartoon? Ignoring what I did last time, their ideas of what might have made a good children's cartoon baffles me. Actually, their ideas of what might make good kid stuff in general baffles me. I mean, the stereotype is that adults don't get kids, but The Little Shop of Horrors? Really? I get that it has a lot of fun musical numbers, but the movie and the musical is about an evil alien plant getting people to murder others to fulfill wishes, and contains a sociopathic sadist dentist who constantly abuses his girlfriend. It's not the most kid-friendly thing out there. Then again, they made a RoboCop cartoon series, so nothing really surprises me. But just because the ideas come from the most ridiculous of places doesn't mean that the show has to be bad. Although I have a ton of evidence to the contrary. I decided to give this cartoon an honest look, and it sucks. Why don't you join me? Considering that the show is based on a musical and a musical movie, we know that it absolutely has to have a kick-ass theme song. Let's hear it. Little shop, take me to the little shop. Oh no, I feel a rap number coming on.
Alright, it's time for me to bust a rhyme, so sit back and chill for a while. I'm coming at ya like Toon style, so get ready for a funny bone overload at the Little Shop. Yeah, boy!
There are so many things wrong with this. Let's start with the obvious. The theme song to the actual movie and the musical is a lot better, and it's a lot more timeless. I don't know why they couldn't have just used that. The rap number here is so dated, and not in any of the good ways either. It's just trying way too hard to be cool and failing harshly. Hell, I'm pretty sure that it failed at the time too, considering the show did not last very long. Speaking of failed at the time too, what the fuck is with the animation? It's probably the worst aspect of the show. I mean, to put things in perspective, DuckTales came out a few years prior, and Doug came out the exact same year. While Doug isn't the pinnacle of animation excellence, it's at least better than whatever this random assemblage of shapes is. To make matters worse, they've largely changed the concept of the show from the musical and the movie. It seems to take place in an alternate universe where all the main characters are kids, and not everyone is dead. Yeah, that's another thing. Little Shop of Horrors was, pretty open and shut. The story pretty much ends and can't be continued. And that's one thing that I've never really understood. Alright, so you want to cash in on the success of a popular product. Why do you go and change every little thing about it? People really don't like it when you do that, and they never have. And it has always hurt your bottom line from like day one. Also, you'll notice Seymour and Audrey look absolutely nothing like Seymour and Audrey.
Isn't this great? Audrey actually asked me to help her pick out a birthday present for her father. I think she's finally starting to notice me.
And we get to the main problem with this cartoon. It's a ripoff of Charlie Brown. Like, there's no denying it at all. And the show doesn't even try to deny it.
Do you think my father would like a new pair of red suspenders?
Okay, if I point out all the inconsistencies, we're going to be here all day. But yes, getting a detail wrong that was said in one of the musical's most famous songs is particularly bad showmanship when you're trying to represent something correctly. What the fuck was that? Also, if you haven't noticed, this Audrey is a completely different character to the one that she was in the movie and the musical. Like, they don't resemble each other in any way whatsoever. Audrey and Seymour are walking along the street when some shady guy offers to sell him a Venus flytrap. No, that plant isn't Audrey 2. Seymour already has Audrey 2, and we'll get to that later. But everything else in the scene is just bizarre. It's like Mr. Slugworth trying to tempt Charlie with no rhyme or reason. That plant there is just a typical Venus flytrap, and this guy is trying to sell it like it's crack cocaine to a child who lives in a flower shop. This guy just has terrible business strategy. Seymour manages to buy it. Also, he runs into a door for the second time within 2 minutes. Also, in this show, Audrey is Mr. Mushnick's daughter. Okay then. Like, these choices of what to change up, they aren't just bad, they're confusing. It's like they're picking random things to change just for the sake of changing them. We cut to Audrey 2, or Junior as he's known in this series. He instantly falls in love with the other Venus flytrap. Okay people, I don't know how well you know about the birds and the bees, but flowers do not exhibit sexual attraction. Flowers don't do the lovey-dovey stuff. Maybe Junior can, but the Venus flytrap he's throwing his affection at certainly can't. He calls her Venus Delilah, by the way.
Ordinary. Make like a potato and use your eyes.
Okay then, potatoes, they use their eyes for reproduction, so, is Junior here inviting Seymour to a three-way?
Look at those limbs. Look at those buds. Youch! Look at those teeth.
This is going very bad very fast.
So full.
I've heard of saying it with flowers, but I've never heard it said to a flower.
Well, the internet was just sort of invented. Give it a while.
Waiter, feed me.
Oh my god, he said the line! Can I turn the show off now? So, Junior tries to take the Venus flytrap on a romantic dinner for two. And throughout it all, Junior tries to get the plant to talk through a song. Well, it's based on a musical, so you'd have to expect some kind of singing. But, oh, good lord.
Be somebody. Be somebody. Come on and be somebody. Ooh, be somebody.
Yeah, it's another rap number, just like the title sequence. The actual musical had a wide variety of styles, so this is another insult to it. Second of all, the lyrics here are absolutely horrible. If the dentist song was in the show, it'd just be Audrey 2 here, repeating the words, "He's a dentist," and "He's evil," over and over again to a pitiful rap beat. Because Seymour is Charlie Brown, he gets kicked out of his plant's love life. He decides to go down to the firehouse and help Audrey with the float. And here we meet this show's version of that dentist. He's been changed into a neighborhood bully wearing braces named Pain Driller. They didn't even want to keep the names the same. I know that in a musical about murders, you've got to tone down things a bit, but you can actually do that without showing absolute disdain for either your audience or the original product. I mean, that's why Goosebumps managed to be so popular just a little bit later. A lot of them were simply toned down episodes of The Twilight Zone that didn't belittle the original product or its audience. And yes, I know that this was still when there were all kinds of crazy television standards about what cartoons could and couldn't do. But they wanted to make a cartoon based on musicals about plants driving people to murder. I mean, how much can you really fit that in the standards? If you can't, you should have known it was a bad idea from the start.
Combust me internally. It's the Fire Queen here. Because you've worked so hard, you've been selected to be Little Miss Fireplug. Me? Your little lady in waiting? Oh, but I'm not worthy. It's like some beautiful dream. I'm gonna be in the parade. Me, Audrey Mushnick.
I'd like to say that this show was at least inspired by a plant, but technically hallucinogenic mushrooms are not plants, they are fungus. So after the fairy princess fire person thing makes Audrey magical, Seymour tries to get her a bouquet of flowers. Oh yeah, this reminds me of that old dead cliche. You know, where the guy or the girl tries to win the affections of someone who didn't even know that they existed to a borderline stalkerish obsession? Yeah, there's a reason it died out. It's not romantic, it's creepy. It's not sweet, it's unhealthy.
Now I know what they mean by hit record.
I wanted you guys to see that, not because it's important to anything about this episode, but because it is legitimately the worst pun that I've ever heard. Meanwhile, Pain takes the Venus flytrap. This can only end so well. We spend some time with Seymour getting beaten up because, you know, Pain is a stereotypical bully. It ends with Pain trapped to a magnet on the ceiling, Seymour running out with the flytrap, and bumping into Audrey. And they break into a song, because based on a musical.
What have you got there behind your back? Is that a Venus fire-trap? She's for you, I can't deny. But can she really eat a firefly?
At the very least, it's not a third rap number, but it still has a problem with the lyrics that are way, way too simple. All of this time, Junior has been drinking milk, trying to get drunk apparently. He sees Audrey in the parade with the flytrap bouquet. So Junior arrives at the parade, breaks into the float, and uses his magical powers to make all the other flowers come alive. Seymour stops Junior from killing Audrey by saying that the rest of the Venus flytrap is still at the firehouse.
Then let's make like a leaf and turn.
Like, turn colors? That made even less sense than the last one. When Junior finds Venus flytrap without any flowers, he wants nothing to do with, her. So we get our final song about how love makes you act like an idiot.
Love just makes you stupid, makes you act like a fool.
Love is just the greatest, love is totally cool.
If this song is meant to be sarcastic, it's not doing a very good job at showing it, because Seymour constantly puts himself in pain for someone who doesn't care about him for the sake of love.
Some people say it's all in your mind. Love is really what don't you make it, but it's clear from the start that when you
I have nothing. What the hell was the moral here?
it's really kind of hard to define. Love is hard. Some people say it's all in your mind.
I get it. Love isn't an easy subject to tackle, but you have to do better than just saying it isn't an easy subject to tackle.
Your first love ought to be perennial.
Everlasting. Yeah, your first love should be everlasting. Though there are definitely some very rare exceptions, it's most likely to say that your first love will not be your last love. It's stupid to expect something otherwise, and destructive to encourage that. It is beyond unrealistic. And you taught this moral how? Like, what even was this? I'll tell you what this was. This was stupid. Don't feed the plants, ladies and gentlemen.